Welcome to this Pick a Pile rune reading. I wanted to start by showing you the leaves on this oak tree. So it is currently August, and this means that in the Northern Hemisphere, summer is starting to slow down, or summer is starting to loosen hold as we move into autumn. Now, this little area, what I find so inspiring about it is how much it has taught me over the time I've been coming here, just to appreciate the natural cycles and rhythms of nature. But what I love right now is that you can see some of the dead leaves still on the limb and some of the new leaves that are still here. So we are definitely in a transition energy, and I thought that this particular oak tree just illustrated that really well. So that is enough with the scenery and the background. Here in a minute, I am going to sit down and set up my circle, and I will show you the 3 different spheres that you will have to choose from, and that will determine which reading is meant for you. So I am recording this set of readings on the morning of August 8th, and the intention for this set of readings is to look at what your radiance is. As we begin to transition through seasons, we feel different energetic shifts. And a lot of this is how we work with reconnecting with cycles. So as we have these transition points, it is always a good thing to check in and see where your strengths and weaknesses are, to know how to move forward a little bit more informed. So this reading, we're looking at your areas of radiance, meaning these are going to be messages coming through this reading are going to be looking at how you are navigating any type of transitions, energetic transitions in your life at the time that you find this reading. So another piece that I put in with a lot of my readings is intentional. I really try to infuse them with the energy of nature. And regardless of when you come to them, there is usually some reason that you are called in. So here are 3 different crystalline spheres to choose from. I'll let you sit with them for just a minute, and then in the description box below, I will have timestamps that will take you to each of the readings. I am wishing you well, and I look forward to seeing you at your reading. Okay, so this reading is for those of you who chose the first option. What you chose is a sphere made out of the mineral Charoite. It really depends. Pronunciation can be different. This is one of the beauties of language and self-expression. So if you are curious, you can research a little more about this mineral and see perhaps other reasons why this mineral called to you. We are going to go ahead and take a look at your reading. The only reason I'm not talking about the crystals in this reading is because I've put a few other pieces in this reading that make it a little bit longer. But if you guys like having me give the information about the crystals I'm using in the readings, let me know, and I will be happy to do that. It's always a struggle for me to know what kind of stuff to include and what kind of stuff not to include. Like, how long do you really want to sit for a reading? Do you know what I mean? So, the first thing that is coming out for your reading with the runes is actually this center line right here. So these two right here, we have Perthro and Nauthez. These both deal with concepts of fate, but this is fate in different capacities, different ways of engaging with the concept of fate. And then in the center, lining all of this up, is Tiwaz. Tiwaz is about balance and fairness and justice. So part of your radiance, part of what is going to help you step into your own power and to just really embrace yourself as authentically as you can, is going to be around you discerning what feels right and proper and balanced to you, and then operating from that center. So the places in your life where it doesn't feel that way, these are opportunities where you can look and say, well, what kind of changes do I want to make? What kind of things are going to help me transition into what it is I'm really wanting for myself? And these two, like I said, they both deal with fate. Now, before I move them, I'm actually going to look at a couple different things with your reading, but Nauthez governs a lot of times the lessons we're meant to learn. So this is governing some sort of larger soul evolution concept. So part of your radiance too is really learning to listen to your inner guidance and to listen to the nudges that you're getting, to really begin to be curious about that and to follow those through, because these are the guideposts. These are the ways that the universe, source, gods, whatever energies you like to work with or how you like to define them, what we're really looking at is how you're connecting to your soul and your guidance. So using that to help you is going to help you. Using that to help you, I feel like I just said the same thing twice. Part of it is I got captivated at how beautiful the sun is coming down on everything right now. But what's interesting is we have it clustered with a bunch of other runes, so I'm not going to take it out of the reading just yet. I'm going to leave it, and we're actually going to move to Perthro. So Perthro is the rune that deals with fate when we start looking at concepts of risk-taking. This really is about being a little bit outside of your comfort zone, like knowing what your comfort zone is and then knowing how to step beyond it in a way that is advantageous towards you and your growth, that is advantageous towards the things that you are desiring for yourself. And we had this kind of laying out. So really what this is feeling like too is that the radiance as you begin to work on these things and as you move outside of these comfort zones, outside of the things that would normally bring you comfort or satisfaction, we're really looking at stepping into those moments where you are doing something that feels a little uncomfortable, but you're doing something that feels a little uncomfortable because you know it is part of your growth and evolution as an individual, as a soul. That's the kind of energy we have here. So this is going to be the ultimate goal for you, is understanding and looking at these moments as points that are really those moments of growth and change. Now, we have an interesting string of runes that were connected to Nauthiz, which is why I left it there. And what is connected right next to it is Laguz, and this is dealing with our lake energy, water energy. So this is a lot about reflection. And what Laguz is coming in and telling you is this is really about tapping into your third eye. So any places or spaces where you can begin practicing and really turning up a notch, whatever your practices are when it comes to tapping into your own intuition and your own guidance, that is going to be very critical for you as you step into your radiance, as you begin to reveal yourself to the world in your full capacity. And next to it, we have auras. So there is a creativity element that is also coming into play. This is for you an energy that is speaking to opening your perspective to what creativity looks like. Creativity is simply the process of creating. So this the caution here is to not let yourself get caught in the traps of thinking that being creative equals being an artist. Being creative equals being a performer. Being an artist, being creative could come down to the meals that you make. You know, you are crafting, you're bringing together, you are infusing energy and love into the things that you create that fuel your body. You're working with different elements and energies as you are cooking, and that is a creative process. So the creative energy and the insight energy is really what is going to help guide you along this journey. Now, underneath Nauthiz, we have Berkana, and Berkana is nurturing energy. So this is tapping into our feminine energy. This is tapping into receptive energy. This is tapping into energy of tending what it is you are creating for yourself. It is tending to the new habits, the new thoughts, the new behaviors, and cultivating those in a way so that you are ultimately going to be crafting or creating the reality that you want for yourself. And this, with Nauthiz being part of this chain, it really is a sense that this is some sort of energy around higher callings or things you are meant to do at a soul level. So there's an understanding that yes, there might be a 9 to 5 that you're working. There might be things you're doing that are helping you manifest and create in the world, but you're really going to step into your power once you start embracing and creating from your central point, from your personal power, from your sacral chakra energy, and having this creation be informed with third eye energy. Now, what is really beautiful is at the bottom of this set that we just looked at is Fehu, and Fehu does govern resources. So this is indicating that there is some connection with value, there is some connection with self-awareness or self-validity that is tied into what you do and what you create. And as you begin to truly honor your creations and cultivating those, you are going to start to find the resources you need to live a quality life are going to open up to you. That is the energy coming through with Fehu. That we oftentimes can focus on things backwards, and we look at, in order to do or be who I am, I need X, Y, and Z in order to do this. And this sequence of events coming through for your reading is actually saying to the contrary. Your resources and the things that will help you along your journey come to you as you show up in the world, as you radiate as your authentic self. So that's a lot of the energy we have going on here. An additional piece of this lineup that we had is Elhaz. Elhaz is about protection. This is about knowing that your guides are with you. This is about knowing that Gaia, that the earth plane has you and you're supported. So really this is about bringing into the physical plane all of the things that you're working with on an imaginary level, on a soul level, on an emotional level, on an energetic level, bringing those into the physical. This energy is protection energy that is going to help you do that with greater ease. Now, we have also a pretty tight cluster on this other side. Right here at the base, we have Isa, followed by Othala. Isa is our rune that governs ice. So this is about emotion body, but this is about an inability to move. This is about a rigidity. Now, what this is looking like for your reading, especially because Othala was sitting right next to it and we're following with this protection energy, what this is really saying for you guys is that a solid foundation of good behaviors, habits, thoughts, practices, this type of emotional foundation or network is really going to be critical in helping you as you move forward. And Othala is the foundation energy. So really honoring what you feel, tapping into your emotion body and really beginning to move with that, and acknowledging the pain points, acknowledging the moments where you feel stuck, acknowledging them for learning points and experiences, but then having the freedom to let go of it and understand that it is part of the foundation of who you are and how you engage with the world. That this foundation, that your experiences, your perspectives are unique and they bring different things to the world. So that's what this kind of energy is for you guys. As we follow the line down more on this other side, what we had sitting at the bottom of that was Yera, followed by Dagaz. So this is an interesting combination. Yera governs the year, and so this is looking at longer cycle energy. This is looking at things that take a little more time to appear in our physical 3D realm. Now, this also deals with understanding what to harvest and when to harvest. So there is a component of timing. But what's really fascinating for you guys is that Dagaz came out right next to it, and Dagaz is short cycle energy. This represents the day. This carries with it enlightenment. This carries with it the perspective or the understanding that we get a fresh start. That when things have been a little too much of a trial or a tribulation for us, that we get to say, time out. I'm going to set this down for a minute. I'm going to take a breather. I will come back to it. But for right now, I'm just going to set all of this down. And that is okay. That is something that you are allowed to do. It's not something people talk about very much, but this energy, this contrast of long cycle, short cycle, is really, really bringing home that message for you. Dagas also ties in with our soul star chakra, whereas Othala is earth star chakra energy. So we really are looking at the ability to connect in with the earth plane as well as within our celestial alignment, our heavenly planes. Like I said, whatever your belief systems are, however that resonates for you, you have energy and support in both of those areas. Now, you also have Awaz and Rido coming out. So Awaz is the energy of Yggdrasil, and this is an energy that really looks at the inclusion of multiple worlds. This looks at the understanding that diversity helps us move and develop. So tapping into this diversity and tapping into what just came through, the phrase was being able to see from a different perspective, or being able to look at the different ecosystems that exist within a given space. And since this is Yggdrasil, it makes sense to me. The example that came through is when you look at trees, we often think of them just as trees, but they are rich, vast ecosystems for so much life. You know, from the ants or the insects or the little bugs that live in the bark, to the birds and little critters that might live in the crevices, to the things like worms or underground creatures that are going to be living among the roots. And then you could even go all the way up to the leaves. Like, there really is such a diversity within a single tree. And so this is an energy that's coming through for you guys that's really asking you to look at the concept of ecosystems, sustainability, the way that things exist and thrive in different environments. There's some component of that that is going to be really helpful for you guys. And Rido is the final rune coming out for you. Rido governs the concept of journeys. So this is transformation energy for you guys. This really is an energy that as you step into this energy, as you start to move with what really calls to your soul and what really, really speaks to you, you are going to start to radiate in such an amazing capacity. Amazing. So that is your reading. I want to thank our guides. I want to thank the runes, and I want to thank you. I am so grateful that you are here spending time with me and that you are investing in your self-development and betterment. I look forward to seeing you at future readings. Welcome to those of you who chose the second crystal. You chose a sphere made out of rutilated quartz. And again, this particular reading, I'm not explaining the energy of the crystals. If that is something that you like having in my videos, let me know, and I'm happy to do that in the future. I'm just leaving it out in this particular video because I had a few other clips which made the video a little bit longer. So let's go ahead and get into your reading. The very first thing, quite honestly, that came through to me is we have Tiwaz and Nauthiz really connected right here. And I don't normally recommend when things happen in other readings that you check them out, but both of those runes started in the first reading, and the fact that it came out this way is feeling significant for this as a connection point. Obviously, their runes repeat themselves in the different readings, but the layout of them is very critical to me when I read. So that's the first message, is that you may have something that you need to hear in the first reading because it came out in that as well. But looking at your message as an individual message, the thing that we will start with is right here. So we have Hagalaz, which is sitting all by itself, disconnected from everything in your reading. Now, Hagalaz is an energy that is an indication of some sort of conflict. This is some sort of mental, emotional conflict. This is something about a division between what we think and what we feel. So this is insight that there is some sort of shifting in either of those body systems in order to realign yourself to a proper set of beliefs or ways of being. It's like a transition energy. There's something going on below the surface, and it really is feeling like a tug of war energy for you guys. So part of your radiance, part of how you radiate, actually comes from the fact that you are able to exist in these kind of places of division. Not everyone can exist in these areas and come out unscathed, or be able to report back to others, to report back to fellow humans about how to live life a little bit differently. But there is something coming through that for you, for this pile, your energy, it's really saying to me that you are able to almost walk between worlds, that you have the ability to be in places that are a little more difficult to be in for sustained periods, but you're able to come back from those places and you're able to share the information you learn when you're there. So this is actually a really great gift. And some of what is coming through is you being able to understand this component of yourself as a gift rather than a curse. Because I will tell you that the energy I'm feeling with this for you, it definitely feels like there's energy of resentment almost, of like, why do I have to deal with this? Or why do other people I know not have these experiences or these understandings? And it's because this is something that is very unique to you, and it could almost be the sense of, depending on what systems you follow, it's almost could be a sense of these are skills that you've spent lifetimes developing, and so they come easier to you because of that. However, it still doesn't mean that being in these spaces is easy, or that being in these spaces doesn't have an effect. So there's acknowledgement of that. Your guides, spirit, source, universe is really, really wanting you to know that information. The next piece actually that's coming through for you, so we have Kenaz and then Yera. Now Kenaz is torch energy, and this is usually an indication that all you have to do is walk your path and the steps will be lit in front of you. So this is an energy that carries with it a sense of inner knowing, your inner compass, your ability to know right from wrong, your ability to know when you're pushing yourself too hard, when you're staying within your comfort zone and not pushing yourself hard enough. That's the kind of energy that Kenaz carries with it. It really is that inner knowing. So this is going to be energy that's going to travel anywhere from creative energy of your sacral chakra to your heart chakra, with your love energy. These are going to be the things that are connected. Now, it came and it was sitting next to Yera, and Yera is long cycle energy. Yera is about the harvest. But what's coming through is particularly significant for you and this reading is, do you see how to achieve the symbol of Yera, you must use the symbol of Kenaz? So this really is an energy. It doesn't normally come through like this, but for you, this is really feeling like cooperation energy. It's really feeling like as you walk your path, as you stand firm in who you are, that acts as a beacon and it reflects out to the world, and it encourages others to stand in their power so that they can then become beacons and help others. It's that kind of energy. So that is very interesting. I don't normally get that energy with that rune, but the way that these are coming out for you guys, that's how this is feeling. Wunjo, the rune of satisfaction and joy, crown chakra energy, was also in this cluster. So there really is an interconnected feeling with the three of these coming out in that sequence. And it's a feeling that as you shine your light, as you step into your power, as you begin to really understand your unique power and what you offer to the world, and it's an understanding that you don't have to try to be someone else or something else in order to be in your power. It simply is by being you, and knowing the self is one of the hardest things that we have to do in life sometimes. And so that as you do this, you're going to start to really lock in, and this is feeling almost like a sense of connecting in with soul fractals, soul family, people, energies that have been with you on these journeys that are much longer than this lifetime, that it is about reconnecting with that energy. And that's why there's so much joy in it. That's why there is like this higher state of consciousness in it. It is feeling like heavier, not heavier, but heavier really isn't the right word. What's the right word? And it's not a sense of more importance. It's a sense of more significance, of things that are more meaningful. And oftentimes, you know, we come to these realizations that there is nothing more meaningful than being in your bliss, than being in your joy, than following your heart and doing the things that make you happy, because it is in that we are most authentically expressing self. So that is some of this energy coming through. I'm going to pull this one before I overlook it. This one was on its side, which means that it is a space for potential challenge. When they sit on their side, to me, they read as blind spot energy, simply meaning that the energy is there, and it just means that from one direction we easily see it and engage with it. From another direction, it's a little bit harder, and that we don't see it coming. So Elhaz is the energy that's in the blind spot. Elhaz is about protection. This is about grounding in. This is about really connecting in with guides and guardians. And this is suggesting that your ability to do this work or to step into this radiance, there are going to be moments when you're going to feel like you're doing everything on your own. And these are the moments when this energy is in the blind spot. So when you're having those moments, this is saying all you have to do is ask for help. All you have to do is ask for help, and your guides and your guardians will be there. Your fellow humans will be there. The different realms, like the desire to assist and help is really, really a strong desire of life. We want to be mutually beneficial. We want to see success. We want to see things thrive. And so this really is an energy of remembering to ask for help. Now, I will go ahead and move to this cluster. Tiwaz was the rune of balance and fairness, and it was one that I talked about briefly at the beginning of the reading. Oh, look at that. Okay. So it was sitting on top of Menas, and Menas is the rune of humanity. I was curious if that one was going to be in this reading simply because of the energy I was feeling over here. But here it is, the energy of humanity. This is the energy of cooperation. This is the energy of we find our joy reflected back to us when we work symbiotically. And you can see that beautifully when you're looking at Wunjo sitting right next to Menas. So this is indicating for you, in a way, balancing between the earthly plane and the spiritual realms, making sure that that really is in alignment, because your resources and what you have available is rich in both areas, and you get to tap into both. So it really is about coming back to that. Now this deals a lot with what we are meant to learn. So these are things that tie into predetermined fate. We do live in a free will realm. So this rune, really what it's saying is, when obstacles arise for you, when setbacks happen, remember that you always have choices. There are always going to be things in your environment to choose from, to respond to react, information to share, information to reflect upon, information that is going to help you build or transform. And that is the type of energy that is really going to help you. It's energy of asking questions, about being curious. It's an energy of remembering that when you stand in your power, when you are in your radiance, you always have choices. So that's the kind of energy coming through with those for you guys. They led to, interestingly enough, they led to Berkana, which is feminine nurturing energy, but on the other side, it's sitting with Obras. So there is a bridge kind of energy with that. So I'll show Berkana real quick. And Berkana, again, is nurturing energy. So this is a reminder that, yes, we do need to tend to the things that we want to maintain. There are some things that are set it and forget it, let it go about its business, but there are many things in our lives that require our attention, our love, our devotion, our encouragement, and that's the kind of energy that Berkana is coming with. So remember that this is the kind of energy that you also get to give yourself. It's not just limited to what you receive outside of yourself. But being aware of that energy is going to be helpful for you. Now, what's interesting here, we have auras, which I said is about creativity. And Fehu is this rune here. Fehu is about resources. It's about cattle. Now, auras is a wild form of cattle, and Fehu would be the domestic version. So what we're understanding here, and this energy is really tying me back to the division, the ability to walk between worlds, understanding that in our trials and tribulations, that is where a lot of your growth and your richness occurs, and that you are tempered to handle things that a lot of people can't. And this is coming through with Fehu and Uruz as well. Fehu being our more domesticated and Uruz being our more wild element. So understanding the balance of nurturing energy that is within the domestic realm, how we play within rules within the legal system, litigation, as well as how we move and flow in natural states of being out in nature, out in wild places, within our heart, within the deepest yearnings and desires of our heart. These things exist. And so there is a balancing energy here that is reminding you to make the most out of the times that you live in. So depending on when you're watching this reading, what resources are available to you? Both ancient traditions, wisdom that's been passed on, things that come to us from previous generations, as well as things that exist now, today, as you're listening to this reading. Electricity or things like that. And it's hard sometimes to understand timing in different capacities. So electricity was the example that came through because I know for sure right now that electricity is a technological advancement that is available. But who knows? Who knows what the world will be like when you are watching this reading? So this is just energy to get you to think about that, to think about the wonderment of life and really all of the richness that exists in being able to access all of that. We have 3 final runes for your reading. They are Lagus. So this is about third eye energy. This is about tapping into your intuition. We have Dagas, which is about day. So this is about enlightenment. So intuition, enlightenment, and then Perthro is coming out. Perthro ties into fate. It ties into the quantum realm. So with Perthro, we are breaking the bounds of time. With Perthro, we are understanding that multiple timelines exist. We understand that there are things that exist outside of our own awareness and understanding that we can tap into should we choose to. So really what we're moving into for you guys at the end of this reading is just really tapping into your power and how you are going to really step into your radiance, how you are going to, I almost forgot, there's actually a 4th rune, Ansu's. So Ansu's is about communication, and I was reminded that it was here as I was tempted to bring this up and show you guys your gem that you chose. So one of the things that's coming to mind, I know I said I wasn't going to talk about the crystals, but for you, this is seeming important, and so this is how we're going to end the reading. So this is actually a combination of 2 crystals growing together. These little golden fibers that you're seeing, this is a mineral called rutile, and it often grows inside of quartz. So there is an understanding of a harmony, of an ability to coexist, an ability to grow in different ways. So Ansu's being about communication, and this reading being about what makes you radiate. If I tie this in all together, really what this is saying to you guys is it really is time to start expressing yourself. It is time to start expressing your desires, your struggles, your challenges, your fears, your victories. It really is time to start bringing that into a larger perspective and sharing that with more people in whatever capacity that is for you. But that is your reading. I want to thank our guides. I want to thank you so much for being here, and I want to thank the runes. I am looking forward to seeing you at future readings. Okay, so welcome to the third reading. This reading, the crystal you chose is Dragonstone or Dragon's Blood Stone. It is not a jasper, it is not bloodstone, it is actually called Dragonstone. So, what I've been saying for this set of readings, I am tempted to share information about the crystals. I always like doing that. I think it helps you anchor in and understand part of why you were drawn to a particular reading. But I have other pieces in this video which made it a little bit longer, so I'm not including it in this video. If you do watch my videos and that is something you like having, let me know in the comments and I will do that in future videos regardless of what else I have to cover. That being said, let's go ahead and take a look at your reading and see what messages are coming through about what's going to help you radiate. My attention is divided a couple of different ways at the start of this reading, so understand then that the importance of this for you is decision making is going to be a key factor. Really getting into a space where you are confident making decisions from a grounded place, from a place that honors your true self. That is going to be a critical thing. So that is coming through even without even looking at the energy of the runes just yet. But ultimately what I will start with is this line right here. So we have Ingwas, which is seed energy. This is about new beginnings. This is about being able to move through lifetimes. This is about being able to have information in this generation, to have offspring, and then to share that information in future generations. So there is something of this energy of a limitedness and an understanding that in life you only get certain opportunities at certain times and then they move on. But this is also an energy of understanding that your intentions are so super important, that what you are planting is really, really going to be critical in how you radiate and how you show up in the world and how you live life and how you experience life. And it was leading up to Yera. Yera is about the year. Yera is about harvesting energy. So Yera has a lot to do with understanding the timing of something. This is about understanding when to harvest everything that you have spent time sowing, everything that you have planted, everything that you have worked on. And what's really beautiful about this, we have Berkana over here, which was the nurturing energy. So this energy reminds you to tend to the things that you want to come to fruition, the way that you want to be, how you envision yourself, who you want to be. These kind of things, from the relationships that you have, to the work that you do, to the way that you spend time resting, to the way that you spend time sleeping, all of these different things either nurture you or they don't. And this energy is about getting to a space of understanding how you can best nurture yourself in order to be in a space to plant seeds, to be able to harvest the things that you want for yourself. So there's a lot of energy in this reading for you guys that is coming down to understanding your power. So part of how you radiate is through through embracing I am, through embracing what it is you do, who you are, how you are, and not being apologetic for it. Releasing any of those tendencies or fears of, well, if I say this thing or if I do this thing, what will people think? While people are entitled to opinions and different things like that, even different actions, it's part of the free will aspect of the lives that we live. What's coming through and what's really beautiful for you guys is an understanding that they get to be them and you still get to be you. That there is a way to coexist that allows for mutually exclusive benefit. And I just realized that Gabo is sitting in your reading, which ties into this energy that I'm feeling about mutual reciprocity. So, before I move to this, though, because these are interconnected, I am going to finish this line with, if we looked over to the other side, what we saw was Obras. And Obras is about creativity. Obras is about returning to our wildness. Obras is about being in our power, being in our creativity. This deals a lot with our sacral chakra, and Ingwaz deals with our heart chakra. So creativity and heart, love, what we send, what we receive, doing it from a loving space. Now, right underneath Obras was Ehwaz, and Ehwaz represents the world tree. So Ehwaz is an energy that reminds us of alignment. Ehwaz is an energy of as below, or as above, so below, as within, so without. This is a lot of mirroring energy, but this is also an energy that really is going to speak to the interconnectedness of things. So when we look at world trees, regardless of what mythology we're looking at, the tree itself always has the root system, the trunk, and then the branches and the leaves, the crown. So there always is going to be a single entity, the tree itself, existing in multiple environments, in multiple worlds. When we think about a typical tree system, we think about, okay, well, the roots are underground, and if they're not underground, then they're not in the environment where they can survive. So this is also making me think about this seed energy. A seed begins life underground most of the time. Plants are so diverse. They're so diverse. And part of what's coming through for you as I'm saying these words is that part of your radiance is understanding what environments you thrive in. So the seed, since they're sitting here, I'll just show you. There are these lovely little flowers that have lived their life, and they are now done. They're now gone. But they spread their seeds, and those seeds are going to create the next generation. If I remember, I'll try and put a clip of what these flowers looked like when they were alive. They're absolutely lovely, beautiful, little purple flowers. But that energy was just coming through really strong as I was talking about that. So there is this understanding that with even year-end, this long cycle energy, really what we're looking at is understanding how we exist in different environments. And so for you, part of what is going to unlock your radiance or help you step into your radiance is understanding what nourishes you and what drains you, and understanding how to operate in those different systems and how to align yourself, alignment with Ehwaz, align yourself to environments or situations that are going to nurture you with Berkana, to bring you back into creativity so that you can create the dreams and the life and the harvest that you want for yourself. Man, that is so beautiful. Just the interconnected cycle energy of this reading. So you guys have a real flow to you. You guys who chose this reading, there is a flow. There's an energy of being able to survive cycles and movements and do it with grace and elegance. That's really commendable. So I said I was going to come to this part of the reading. So this is Gebo, and Gebo deals with fair and equal exchange. This is gifting. This is making sure that all parts and parties are properly taken care of in any given exchange. So this can look like different things in daily life, but what I wanted to say is that it came out with Ehwaz, and Ehwaz is our horse energy. Ehwaz is energy that is going to connect us to our soul star chakra. So this is really has a very spiritual component to it. And embracing that and really listening to your soul's calling, that really is going to be part of what is going to help you. But it also means that guides and guardians are with you, and that working with them is part of how you are going to start to really move with this energy that you're part of. The final rune that came out for you guys, actually, the final visible rune that came out for you guys was Sewelo. So this is our sun energy. Beautiful sun. And this is about understanding in some capacity what nourishes you. So the sun provides light, it helps plants grow, but it also burns, it also destroys, it also, radiates in the sense of like radiation radiates. So this is understanding, it's almost a feeling of doing things in moderation for you is what's coming through, is understanding that there's benefit in all things, in all spaces and capacities. And again, it's environmental and really tapping into your environment. But this is an understanding that the different ways that we engage with the same object changed based off of other components. So again, we come out of the long, dark winters, and we have much more reverence for the sun. Then during the summer, we crave the winter because we crave that little bit of space, that little bit of being able to go inward, the time to cool down and slow down. Now, Othala is actually the final rune for your reading. I didn't see it because it was completely covered. So what is Othala? Othala is energy that ties us into our Earth Star chakra. This is energy that really, really grounds us with the earth. This is energy that is going to really, whoops, sorry. I got distracted by a strange little flying bug that's on my pants. I'll show you. Look at her little wings. And then this little fly has been hanging out with us all reading. He just left, but he was on my finger. So Othala is energy that I was kind of feeling earlier when we were talking, when I was showing you guys about the plants, the flowers, because along with this seed energy, Othala talks about generations. Othala talks about moving beyond just a single lifetime. And again, this is going to look different for you depending on your belief systems, but this really is an understanding of life that continues on, life beyond death. Life comes again. Life strives for the sky. Life strives for the sun. Life strives for the things that are going to support it and help it fulfill its function. So that is the energy that is coming through for your reading. A very succinct reading for you guys. I am thanking you so much for being here. Now I'll show you your crystal again in the light, maybe. There we go. And I am thanking you for being here. I'm thanking our guides. I'm thanking the runes. And I'm thanking the crystals. I look forward to seeing you at future videos. Thank you so much for being here. This was a beautiful set of readings, and I look forward to the next time I am able to come out to this space and give you a little bit of nature's healing and a little bit of guidance. I'm wishing you well, and I look forward to seeing you at future readings.